My name is Andrew Socek, and I'm 6 feet tall, and you can't teach that. And this right here, this is Nick Eugene Dinsmore, and he won the Kurt Angle Invitational, and you can't teach that. Nick, that's your cue. Don't leave me hanging.
What are you doing? What is this? That's ridiculous. You shouldn't talk with your hand over your mouth on camera. Oh my God, that's ridiculous. What am I doing here? Who booked me for this?
Well, I'm not sure, but I was doing Enzo Amore in Big Cass because I'm kind of like the Enzo to your Big Cass.
Oh, you're killing me. You're ridiculous.
I'm kind of like the Scott Hall to your Kevin Nash.
I ought to punch you in the face for that one.
I'm kind of like the Viano 4 to your Viano 5.
Oh my God, who booked me for this? This is ridiculous. Why am I here again?
Well, you're here to help me introduce the very first episode of WWE and TNA's Worst of the Week.
Guess it couldn't hurt now. Nobody's gonna watch this show. You're gonna get canceled faster than a Zack Ryder title run.
That's really short.
I mean, this show is less interesting than the Marine 4.
The Miz?
Heck, you're even more boring than Miz as champion. I mean, Andrew, you have less qualifications than Eva Marie. You look like Harvey Whippleman and Colin Delaney had some kind of love child. You should probably be paying the estate of Freddie Blassie for likeness rights to his catchphrase, pencil neck geek. I mean, up and down, I don't even like you. And you can't teach that.
Where are you going?
You know, I'm gonna go back to Midwest All Pro Wrestling.
I said you couldn't be on my show if you were going to do cheap plugs.
I would never do a cheap plug or try to push merchandise that's on MidwestAllPro.com. Good day to you.
Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you later, Nick. Hey everyone, stick around. It's WWE and TNA's Worst of the Week. Starting out with number 7 is the Dudleyville Demise. Bubba Ray Dudley first turned heel in 1957 when he put Vern Gagne through a table in the AWA. So you would think after all these decades in the business, he would know not to say stinking as a way to get heel heat. Because stinking sounds really stupid, but he said it twice this week as in, can we get out of the stinking city? But Bubba, at least say damn city because that's PG and you can say that on TV. So what is my main point is that the Dudley boys are 0-5 against Cass right now, and he already beat them both up by himself at Extreme Rules, so the entire feud is kind of pointless to keep continuing on with it. In fact, the only way the Dudley boys have a chance in this feud is if they call in the rest of Aces and Eights, and I'm specifically talking about Garrett Bischoff. Number 6, Natty So Confused. Natalya, what are we gonna do with you? These past few years you've been on my TV, farting and dating the great Khali and pooping on Daniel Bryan's bus. You're just like this big, disgusting, farting, pooping mess. Kind of like Gwyneth Paltrow. She's also easily distracted. Like at Extreme Rules, she could have won the women's title until Dana Brooke came out and then she allowed herself to get rolled up. Good one. It made her look pretty foolish, and Natty, I'm sorry, but I just don't feel bad for you. Your Uncle Brett may have taught you the sharpshooter, but unfortunately he didn't teach you how not to be confused by a woman in a Ric Flair wig. Number 5, the worst guru since Mike Myers. Over the past few years in TNA, they've gotten rid of Kazarian and Daniels, the Motor City Machine Guns, and the Young Bucks. But for some reason, the Bromans still have a job. Damn you, Dixie. Well, this week there was a storyline where the Bromans needed a guru, and lucky for them, there's the perfect one out there, Bob Backlund. Oh wait, he's taken. So they did the next best thing. They chose a woman who was on the 6th season of Tough Enough. No, it wasn't Cameron. You know who I'm talking about. What's her name? Raquel? Who's that? Well, somehow Raquel is going to try to save a gimmick that should have ended like 3 years ago. And why do I have a bad feeling that Zack Ryder is going to show up in the Bromance someday? Number 4, Ultimate X's return. It's a proven fact in professional wrestling that if you add the letter X to it, it immediately makes it twice as cool. D-Generation X, the X Division, and X Factor with Prince Albert. Right now, TNA has Ultimate X, which is probably the coolest match concept they've ever come up with. Closely followed by the Reverse Battle Royal, the Doomsday Chamber of Blood match, and the Dixie Carter Classic, which the rules of that match are, you spend your parents' money as fast as you can on former WCW talent. She's undefeated in that. While Ultimate X used to be a spectacle, it came back this week and lasted 6 minutes. So what was the point. There were so many talented people in the match, like Trevor Lee and Andrew Everett, but there was absolutely no storyline support to justify an Ultimate X match. The match means absolutely nothing anymore. The excitement level for it is somewhere in between a Punjabi prison match and a Kiss Me Arse match. Number 3, stop fighting it. Over the past couple of years, there have been a lot of great chances to turn Roman Reigns heel. They could have done it on any episode of Raw or SmackDown and it would have been fine. Hell, I would have settled for an episode of Main Event that I didn't even watch. Just get it over with, let's do it. Seth received a huge pop from the crowd when he came back, and they already have his sympathy, so it would have been a perfect time to just make him a babyface. But WWE keeps fighting the current with Roman Reigns, and the crowd isn't into him at all. Even on SmackDown, Seth still got a hero's welcome. Seth can insult us, he can tell us that our families are ugly, he could probably kick our dog and then kill him and eat him, and steal our mail, and we'll still, at the end of the day, like him more than Roman Reigns. So Vince, just stop fighting it. Number 2, delusional Dolph. Yes, it's another feud that makes no sense. It's Dolph Ziggler versus Baron Corbin, and Baron Corbin has beat Dolph Ziggler twice now, and both times it was really convincingly. But on Raw on Monday, Dolph Ziggler was really mad because he was like, "Oh, Baron, you punched me in the balls at Extreme Rules," which was totally within the rules of the match. I mean, if Baron wanted to, he could have just like picked up a gun and been like, "Dolph, get on the ground, I'm gonna pin you," and it would still been legal. Besides, Dolph could have done whatever he wanted. He could have picked up any weapon, he could have called up the Spirit Squad or Kerwin White and had them come out and fight Baron, but he didn't because he's dumb. He lost, and it's his fault, but on Raw he went face to face with Baron Corbin, who appeared to be cutting the very first promo of his life. But the kicker is, Dolph told Baron to watch his match so he could see what a technical wrestling match looked like. But he lost the match! So that was the dumbest thing he could have said. Wrestling is predetermined, so Dolph Ziggler, aka Nick Nemeth, knew he was gonna lose that match, so why did he agree to say the line? Dolph, just think these things through for 5 seconds. And the absolute worst thing to happen in professional wrestling this week was the Asylum Match. Sometimes when I watch a long, boring wrestling match, I wonder, what am I doing with my life? I get this existential dread that I talk to my therapist about. And I talked to them this week about Dean Ambrose versus Chris Jericho in a 26-minute Asylum match. If you add in entrances, this is over 30 minutes. Think of what you can do in 30 minutes. You could watch a sitcom, you could go for a walk or something, or you could watch 4 WhatCulture videos. Instead, we watched Dean Ambrose beat Chris Jericho with a mop. A mop on top of the cage. Ooh, that's so crazy, Dean Ambrose, ooh. Seriously though, you can't have a mop attack and a thumbtack spot in the same match. That would be like watching a Disney movie and then right after they do like a musical number, you chop off the head of one of the characters. If I have to see another Asylum match, then I'm probably gonna be the one who has to be in an asylum. Well, that's the list. I'll be back next week with more of the worst in professional wrestling, and stay tuned to WhatCulture for our newest show, Adam Paciotti's Tub Time Wrestling Tales. It's a family show. Well, I'm Andrew Socek, and follow me at Andrew Socek on Twitter if you want. If you don't want to, that's fine. Subscribe to WhatCulture for the greatest wrestling videos in the history of planet Earth.
WhatCulture.com are releasing a new magazine about wrestling, and it's called Wrestling. It'll have 140 pages of timeless wrestling content, including a brand new How WWE Should Have Booked written by this virulent son of a bitch. It will also have a list of the 100 best wrestling matches of all time compiled by WhatCulture staff and wrestling insiders. So the magazine is available to pre-order now. Follow the link in the description and enjoy WhatCulture.com's Wrestling.